What is up, y'all? It's your girl Brand New, and I'm back in the building. This time I am back for a recap of Married to Medicine. This is season 7, episode 1. Let's get off into it, honey. I've missed my girls. I have missed Married to Medicine. I've missed a few of the ladies. Y'all know, if you've been following me for a while, Heavenly is my favorite. To me, she's the most real, the most consistent. I love her marriage. I love how she acts within her marriage. To me, she stands apart from all the other women, in my opinion. Heavenly, you just stepped up your hair this season so far. Not that you look bad before. I always thought you were attractive. But I love, what is it, blonde? I think you have blonde in your hair. You look good. Your outfit, your clothes was looking good. Everybody is back and looking good. I give y'all that. Let's get through all the women really quickly. Let's do a little review on how I feel about everybody. So far, you guys, this season, from what I see, I'm going to still be feeling Heavenly. She's still going to be my favorite. I think I'm gonna like Quad this season. Quad got some shit with her I don't like sometimes, but I feel like I'm gonna try to give everybody a fair shot, and we go erase the matters of yesterday. Well, look, I'll try. But I think I may be feeling Quad this season now that she's single and she got a clear head on her shoulders. Simone, I'm not going to be featuring you this season. I see what you're doing. Oatmeal pie face. I see what you're doing. I'm not going to be feeling you. The second oatmeal pie face is Mariah. Number 1, Mariah, I like Mariah less than Simone. So, yeah, Mariah, you did some shit on this episode, and I'm going to get to it. I didn't like at all. I am looking at you suspiciously. And like I said, you guys, I'll get to that later. But some of her actions, in my opinion, was just very suspicious. Contessa, if you will. I have a weird relationship with Contessa. I like the fact that Contessa is ambitious. She seems like a force to be reckoned with. Like, I give her that. She seems to be a very hardworking woman that has been through a lot in her past. But on the other hand, Contessa, to me, you look down on other people that don't do what you do. I kind of noticed that in your character, and I'm not featuring that. To me, you said and did a lot of unnecessary shit on this episode. We will get to it. I wasn't surprised by the behavior because it was, once again, I was reminded why I don't really like you like that. I think you go too far with things, and I will address that later. I feel pretty neutral about Dr. Jackie. Jackie, I think, used to be one of my favorites. She's not a favorite per se now. She's neutral. She's needed for this show because somebody got to be sane amongst all these cackling hens, honey. Somebody got to be the sane one. I see something going on in Jackie and Simone's friendship. I see Jackie is doing a show called Open and Honest with Dr. Heavenly. I think they've been doing this show for some years or something now because I've seen them before, working on some type of show. I don't know if it was this show per se, but I've seen them work together in the past. And I don't know if Simone likes that because she makes a comment in the beginning saying, well, Jackie is a really loyal and a good friend, but Heavenly, she isn't. She's messy and she's ratchet. And it's just like, Simone, shut up, Simone. You don't know what you talking about, girl. I think you're a little jealous. You're a little jealous. It's okay. I see you trying to be all up Mariah's ass, Simone. You trying to hang with Mariah and Toya. I didn't even think you really care for Toya all like that, but I guess we got to do what we got to do when our friend is not available to us all like that. We got to hang with what's left over, Toya, how do I feel about Toya? The good about Toya, I think, is She's youthful. Um, Toya is kind of ghetto. You know, she's that girl that you could kind of tell didn't probably have that much growing up, and now she's trying to play catch up later in life, you know, by having extravagant taste and trying to spend up all this money and shit. You know, typical Toya. You know, so I just kind of feel neutral towards her. But Toya is, whether people like to admit it or not, kind of needed for the show because she kind of keeps it young. Her and Quad, they kind of got that young factor to them with, you know, their clothes and the shit that they say and do, you know, that type of thing. So that's kind of, and Toya is fun loving, you know, and she's an Aries. I can't fucking stand Aries, but that's a different video though, you know. Quad, you was looking clean than a motherfucker with that blonde hair and them black heels and that red dress, baby. You was looking bad. Heavenly, you was looking good in your green and with the blonde hair. Like, y'all was giving me my fashions. Heavenly, I loved your little earrings you had on. Basically, I'm not gonna go through every little scene, you guys. I'm gonna just try to talk about the main shit that happened. Heavenly and Quad get together for like this vaginal stimulation thing that Heavenly wants Quad to do because Quad was with Dr. G. And, you know, she needs to clear those cobwebs of all the old shit that came with being with Dr. G. You know, she's a single woman. She's still going through her divorce. I believe they are at the end of the divorce, kind of still working some things out, but nonetheless, she's still single and she needs a fresh start. At first, Quad does not seem down for it, but, you know, she ends up participating and, you know, liking the process. So Quad and Heavenly, they end up talking about the beef between Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Simone, and basically it's all pretty much because it started out with Cecil saying some shit on Twitter about how, you know, Dr. Heavenly needs to pressure wash her house, and y'all know, pressure wash that motherfucker. Y'all remember what Mariah said? That shit was funny. But Heavenly didn't like that. Heavenly had put a tweet out saying, well, why don't I pay Cecil to pressure wash my house since he ain't got no damn job? Now, she didn't say all of that, but she just said, well, why don't I pay Cecil, you know, to do it or whatever. Then she had mentioned also on Twitter that Cecil shouldn't be coming at women. You know, he needs to hold his wife accountable for her actions. And the whole backstory into that is, y'all know Cecil went a while without a job. Y'all remember he was laid off. Supposedly, Simone has some resentment about him not working. She shared some things with Heavenly about how she felt about him not working, and then Heavenly pretty much was putting all that shit out on Twitter. So that's how that situation was. I don't ever really remember them really, and I'm talking about Cecil and Simone. I don't remember her really talking about the resentment that she felt with him not having a job. I knew, though, as a black woman, honey, even though they weren't talking about it, I did know that that added to all the issues that Cecil and Simone was having. I knew it. They didn't talk about it at all, so it's just interesting. All of a sudden this season, all of this shit is a storyline, but whatever. Heavenly and Quad also talk about how on the Open and Honest podcast that Jackie and Heavenly was doing, how Jackie brought up the fact that, you know, Quad had mentioned, you know, Mariah used to do drugs, and, you know, should she have not said that? And, you know, that's girlfriend code. You don't do that. And I love Quad's response. She said, me and Mariah are not friends. I could say what I want to say. I'm just commenting on what I saw, and I'm all the way there with Quad. If you feel like, shit, you saw that bitch doing some drugs, then comment on that shit. Say what you need to say, because I feel like Mariah is a lying ass bitch. She's the same bitch that was lying on Dr. Heavenly's husband having an affair. And we already know Dr. Damon don't get down like that. There's nothing about that man that comes off like that. I'm not saying that he's perfect, you know, but I just don't get a cheating vibe from Dr. Damon. So I already kind of knew that bitch was lying when she was going around saying that shit. But Mariah, you can't say whatever the fuck you want to say about people's husbands and, you know, all the shit that you do on this motherfucking show. You know, bitch, you can get it too. You can get it how you live as well. So, Mariah, I'm not here for your fake ass, and I'm glad that Quad said what she said. You know, she stood by her shit, because Heavenly was like, well, are you sure you may want to take something back? She was like, nope. She was, you know, standing in her shit, and I'm here for that. Also, during Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie's open and honest little podcast, they was talking about the whole situation with Dr. Heavenly going in on her friend's man, and that's a girlfriend code you should not break. And Heavenly was like, listen, he came to me first, so I just responded, and it is what it is. They showed Cecil and Simone. They wasn't feeling, you know, her response, and they felt like it was wrong. I just feel like Cecil was wrong from what I'm seeing, because I feel like Simone and Heavenly is the one with the relationship, and Cecil shouldn't have been making that comment on Twitter about anybody pressure washing Heavenly's house. And it's like, you're in the women's shit and you need to stay out of it. You know, for the most part, the men on this show, they stay out of shit. And well, except for Dr. Scott, Contessa's husband. He was doing too much to me the one time or whatever. Aiden, he be all up in the women's business more than anybody, you know, so I'm not here for how Mariah was trying to stick up for him later on in the episode, but it is what it is. They show Mariah and Toya, they are like at a spa looking at the podcast or whatever, and Mariah does not like the fact that Dr. Jackie brought up Quad, mentioning that Mariah was on drugs back in the day. You know, she was on that coke and shit. And Mariah was like, well, everybody should already know that's not true and that's not my life. And Mariah, why are you so bothered? And a hit dog will holler. Like, why you so bothered by that, boo-boo? Oatmeal pie face? Why you so bothered? If it's not true, let that shit go. Like, why you so mad with Jackie? And you had just got back good with Jackie, what, last season? What was that last season? She was working out her marriage with Curtis, and you had shared that Aiden had cheated on you. You know, y'all kind of bonded over that because you was into it with Jackie over some other petty shit about children. I think you was trying to tell Dr. Jackie she doesn't know, she can't really be a mother unless she really has a baby on her own, and she don't know how it really feel to lose a child, and, you know, all this stupid ass, silly ass shit. So, Mariah, I just feel like you coming for Jackie because you need a fucking storyline. You don't really have one. Like I told y'all, Mariah really could go on the Real Housewives of Houston, or no, Married to Medicine, Texas, Houston, whatever the fuck they end up coming up with. Like, she can go and be on something else. I'm not feeling her, you know. I feel like I have these moments where I kind of like Mariah. She'll say something funny here and there, and then she just fucks it all up. So we got Simone, Toya, and Mariah. They're all together. Like I said, Mariah's on her bullshit of, oh, well, Jackie is no different from Quad and Heavenly to me. And, you know, she just should have did her due diligence first. She is repeating what was on the fucking reunion, what the fans are talking about. Why are you upset with somebody that's speaking on what is going on within the group? You know, like, I just don't understand it. If it's not true, what the fuck is the big deal? But like I said, y'all, this bitch ain't got no storyline, so she gonna make it a big deal. Simone talks about why she's into it with Heavenly, how she feels like Heavenly betrayed her by putting all the shit about Cecil out there not having a job, and she just feels betrayed by that. I don't feel like your ass should feel betrayed, Simone. I really don't. Your motherfucking husband, as much as I like Cecil, he shouldn't have been in the women's shit, or that shit wouldn't have happened. Period. He's collateral damage at this point, when it comes to you and Dr. Heavenly, so whatever. Toya had mentioned that during the Open and Honest podcast, she had mentioned something like, oh, well, nobody really should be calling in asking Heavenly for advice. No way. Why shouldn't they? Should they ask you for advice? All you do is overly spend your money to try to look like more than what you are. Toya, you's a fake ass bitch. You need to stop coming for my girl Heavenly. It looks like Simone and Mariah and Toya are very pressed. They acted like haters this whole episode, like a whole mean girl clique. Simone, I know motherfucking well you did not judge Heavenly's outfits. You are the tackiest bitch on this show. Heavenly has stepped up with her fashions and shit. Simone, last reunion, I think that's the best I've seen you, and y'all were, in y'all 6th season, and that's not good, boo-boo. That's not good. So you get your fashions together, sweetie, before you come for Dr. Heavenly, honey. We got this scene with Jackie and Curtis. Curtis, he done got him some damn food poisoning. So Jackie has a doctor come over to the house to treat him. And then they talk about how they have moved into their new house. I thought that they was building a house. I'm like, I know y'all ain't get that damn house built that damn quick. But anyways, it looks nice. They seem happy that they are focusing on their future, honey. We got Dr. Scott, who is Dr. Contessa's husband. He's a single dad right now because Contessa is out of town. So Dr. Contessa is basically back in school so she could be the overall director over public health. I don't know what the fuck that, involves or entails, but good luck, girl. Meanwhile, you need to get your ass back home to your husband and all 3 of them badass kids that y'all decided to make. And men trip me the fuck out when they gotta be a single dad and they want to complain about, their children. Everybody shouldn't have 2 and 3 kids. Some of you motherfuckers need to stop at 1, okay? If you can't handle, the shit that comes with kids, don't have too many, okay? That's all I could tell you, Dr. Scott. He was tripping about matching outfits and berets. I said, child, if you don't get out of here, you ain't no different from no other man in the world, honey. There are single dads all around. They got to deal with, they got to deal with having less money than what you got. So, honey, if you don't get out of here with those complaints, you should have been not getting that woman pregnant all them times. All right? We got Dr. Eugene and Toya. They're looking at their new house, and they show us some flashbacks of when they had their tax issue. Toya's still spending up money on the new house, and she's all, oh, well, they got to hurry up and get all this done. Bitch, stop spending all your money. Stop. Just get what you want. I get this show forever home, but don't be overly spending. Don't be overly indulgent. Like, come on, stick to your budget before you back in a fucking tax problem situation again. Dr. G, grab your nuts, grab control of the family finances before you all don't have any, okay? Okay, so everybody is gearing up to go to Dr. Damon's event where he has his own surgical center. But before we get to that event, let's go to Simone and Cecil. They have dinner with their sons. And basically, the one son that was off at college, he's back because he was slacking off and wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing. So now, I think he's back in college, closer to home, and Simone is just pretty much happy to be back with her family, and she's glad that her son is going to be closer to home, and he's now doing better in school. So that's pretty much what happened with them. Let's get to this motherfucking party. So we're at the party. Everybody looks nice. I am so proud of Dr. Damon because to me, he's always came off as kind of shy, but I'm really happy that he has his own surgical center. He was basically telling them all the procedures that he's going to be doing at the center, and I'm just proud to see another black man come up. I told y'all I love him and Heavenly's relationship. She's proud of him. She said, "Daddy, you gonna make me get down on my knees." He was like, "Get up, girl, go on and get up." But you know, it was just so funny. I love seeing them together, and I'm proud of both of them. And you can tell Heavenly's confidence has rubbed off on Daddy. You know, he's, more expressive now, so kudos to them. I like the part where Eugene, he was at the party, and he had said that he was proud of Dr. Damon. Dr. Damon gave him a job because when him and Toya first moved to Atlanta, he didn't really have a job, like that. And Dr. Damon came through, got him some emergency credentials so he could start working, and he, helped him get back on his feet. So I'm just looking like, Toya, why you throwing around all this hate towards Heavenly? If it wasn't for her husband, if it wasn't for her husband, your husband wouldn't have his shit together right now, really. Okay, so you need to be bowing down. But Toya, she don't see it like that, y'all. Mariah, you's a messy ass, low in the gutter bitch. Why you bring Lake, which is her instigating ass sister. Lake, who be on them fucking lives with her being messy. The same Lake that you accused Quad of sleeping with her ex-husband. You wanted to be messy. You wanted tension. You wanted attention. And you got it, bitch. Ugh. Simone, I don't know why you so pressed for over the fact that Quad did not speak to you when she came into the surgical center event. Like, why are you mad? You've been talking all this shit about her and Heavenly. Like, why are you even upset she didn't address you? She doesn't need to speak to you. She don't see it for you. You don't see it for her. Okay? Y'all see each other. Okay, y'all. So we got all the ladies sitting down at the last scene. Toya, Mariah, Quad, Dr. Jackie, Simone, everybody sitting down. I think Contessa. And, everybody else is on the other side. And Mariah immediately starts off, because y'all know she got balls. Her sister is in the house. I think a lady named Buffy, which is Simone's friend. I wonder what part she's going to play in the whole clique. They really don't need no more women on this show, but whatever. Mariah starts off on Jackie. Well, you really showed your slip. And Dr. Jackie was like, I had on pants. What you talking about? What you talking about, girl? What you talking about, Willis? What you talking about? And, well, I didn't appreciate you bringing up the fact that I may do drugs on that Open and Honest podcast. All she said, Mariah, was that Quad brought up that you used to do drugs. And Mariah getting all offended. Well, you don't know me that way, and I ain't never did no drugs in my life. Like, why are you getting so mad at her? Keep that energy, sis, with Quad. Damn. I love how Mariah said, well, I now know who you are. And Jackie was like, oh, well, thank you. That's right, Jackie. Don't even play off into it, because I have to looking for some attention, okay? Okay, so here's how it gets all jumped off. So Simone mentions her grievances with Dr. Heavenly and how Dr. Heavenly and Cecil was going in on each other on Twitter. And Simone was just like, I don't feel like, that was cool for her to put all that on Twitter that, I shared with her in private. And Dr. Heavenly was like, listen, I wasn't angry. I just responded to what the fuck he was saying. So Simone, yo nigga is the issue. Now, normally, sis, you blame Cecil for everything. But this one time, you don't want to blame him. You don't want to hold him accountable? Okay, I see what you're doing, honey. Heavenly was like, I just didn't like that. I felt like that was some bitch shit. Toya, that wasn't no bitch shit. That wasn't no bitch shit. Contessa chimed in, well, oh, okay then, that is some bitch shit. You know, a man shouldn't be, you know, all up in women's shit. And Mariah called out Contessa saying, well, your man was just all up in Simone's face. And that was true. What was that, last season or whatever, when Simone and Contessa had got into it and shit, you know, he was standing up for, you know, his wife and shit. So, I mean, it is what it is. And Contessa shot back like, shit, everybody's husband, you know, has stood up for them at one time or another. She called out Toya's husband, Eugene, called out Aiden. And Aiden, Mariah, your husband is worse than everybody. Because all your husband do is report right back to your ass. All that dramatic ass shit he was doing at the reunion. She better quit! Making all them goddamn facial expressions and shit like you go do something to a woman. That was bitch shit if I've ever seen it. All that shit he was threatening to say and do to Quad, like, that's bitch shit. So Mariah already knew you wasn't gonna be good for this conversation. You wasn't gonna keep it all the way 100. And that's when Contessa exploded and, you know, went off on Eugene. And she was talking to Toya, but talking about Eugene. She was like, and Toya, I know you're not talking because your husband is the definition of being a big ass bitch. I felt like Contessa was out of line for that, even though I don't even really care for Toya like that. And I don't really even care for Contessa, honestly, like that. Because I just feel like I'm one of them people where if you have an issue with somebody's wife, keep it with the wife. So I feel like Simone and Heavenly, their issue is their issue. I don't feel like Cecil needs to be involved in that at all. I feel like Toya and Contessa, it needs to stay between Toya and Contessa. Contessa, this is what I'm saying with you. I be wanting to like you, but I feel like you always hit below the belt. You go a little bit too far, because it's one thing to not like Toya, and you know, some of the shit that you say about Toya, I feel is true. But I just feel like, don't bring her husband into it. Don't, like, come on, y'all. Simone's friend, what's her name, Buffy or whatever, girl, get your dry ass out of here. You go tell Simone, well, you handled that well like a lady. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. Fuck her and all them teeth in her mouth, okay? All them extra ass teeth. Okay, Simone has a P. Diddy smile. She got all them teeth like Diddy. I'm not checking for you, Simone. You didn't handle that like a lady. You're mad at the wrong person. You need to be mad at your motherfucking husband. Shit, I don't see why it's so hard for you to do that. You ain't had no problem being mad with him any other time, but I'm just saying, look like you bitches are fishing for some storylines. Toya mentions she go get her husband and go. Mariah, you a fake ass bitch. You go hug Dr. Scott, and you the one that brought him up in the fucking argument, talking about how he be in women's faces. He wasn't even in Simone's face now that they played it back. It looked like he was just defending his wife. So those are two different things, Mariah. I'm not the biggest fan of Dr. Scott and Contessa, but I'm more here for them than Aiden and Mariah. I'll say that. Because I've seen Aiden and Mariah really be on some bitch made shit, especially Aiden and all the shit he be doing, little sneaky shit he be doing. Toya tells Eugene somebody called him a bitch. He was like, oh, I'm a bitch? Him and Cecil, oh, I guess we bitches then. You know, they making a joke. Quad says some words like, hey, we need to just table this. We need to just all move on. And Heavenly asked, was Daddy okay? And she said, if you okay, honey, I'm okay. She apologized to Jackie. She said, well, what the hell I'm apologizing for? Y'all need to be apologizing to me. This my event. I thought that was so funny. An episode went off, y'all. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this. Let me tell you this. On this episode, and I already knew it as soon as I saw this episode, this fucking shit went down the way it did at the end because of three bitches. Simone's big teeth ass, Toya's Big Teeth ass and fucking Mariah's petty ass. Okay, the three of them ruined the fucking event and the episode, if you ask me. With all they fucking negative energy. I ain't got time for it. Alright, you guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It is your girl, Brand New, and I am out.